Yeah, it's John from San Antonio.
Hey, John, how are you?
Yeah, good, good. So it's great. Always great to talk to you. I just want to say that I totally agree with what you're saying about the need to vote in every single election. And I do vote in every single election, including constitutional amendments or whatever it does. In the 80s, when I first started reading about the Green Party, I kind of fell in love with it. And I started voting for the Greens. And then I realized how much damage Reagan was doing. And, I felt that I was wasting my vote, even though I felt that the Democratic Party was too corporate. And I started voting, going back to Democrats. And I still feel that way. Right now there's not a Democrat running in the congressional seat, the place where I live in. And I was real happy that a Green is going to run. But, I mean, in any other circumstance, I would vote for the Democrat. And I also, support Bernie Sanders. Now, if he runs in the Democratic primary, I'm definitely going to support him. But if he runs as an independent, as a spoiler, I'm not going to support him, even though I believe that he would be the best candidate. And I understand, he has very little chance of winning. But I agree that the time to vote your conscience is during a primary, because otherwise you're just being a spoiler. Now, Nader has
let me just amend that too. It's not in a primary, I would vote for Bernie Sanders, and I would not vote for him because my conscience tells me to, but from a tactical standpoint, the better Bernie Sanders does in that primary, the more it empowers the left. So it's not even, for me, it's not even a question of conscience. It is never a question of, or rarely a question of conscience. I mean, maybe I don't want to ever say never, but it is more with the tiny, tiny influence any individual has, which is, I will grant, tiny. It is voting in a way, a tactical way, that will bring about, or at least a tactical way that makes sense to bring about the policies that I want. And anything else is really just masturbatory. It is really just to make yourself feel good. And it involves a certain amount of delusion. And so, that's what it is. I vote swapped in 2000 because I was in New York, and I thought it would be very helpful to have Ralph Nader have at least some prominent showing. But at the same time, I also knew you don't want to lose Florida. And people had set up online vote swapping, where you basically commit to somebody in Florida. I'll vote for Nader in New York if you vote for Gore in Florida. That's that again. It just gets down to, and voting is not the end all be all by any stretch of the imagination. You have to do a lot more, but that's the least you can do. Appreciate the call.